I like completely forgot that I didn't post the link at all. Like I posted 0 link and I'm like, oh, wait a second. I need to do this thing.
It's silent. What's going on?
Nothing. Zia's an idiot. That's what's happening.
Did you post it yet?
No, I didn't even post it. I was like going to
I'll take
post it
care
and
of
then it
it.
started.
Hello,
You're amazing. I
everyone.
love you. You're great. Thank you.
Welcome back. This is, I know it's supposed to be Doctor Who and Torchwood, but the last time we were here, which I know is a month ago, we did a double special on Doctor Who because it was the Daleks. You can't split them in half. I'm sorry. It's wrong to do that. So we decided to do 2 of Torchwood because someone also said you might want to finish all of Torchwood before I think episode 10 of Doctor Who.
I think so. I think it was episode 10. So yeah, we're on. Okay, there we go. Torchwood review, Doctor Who, Torchwood, but today's just Torchwood.
Yeah, so we got to coordinate that just to make sure we finish it on time, so that there's no spoilers. So yeah,
we're working it out and everything. So this is episode. We just did episode what? 6 and 7. 6 and 7.
I think 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Or 5 and 6. Chat would know. Chat, which episode number worth?
Chat, help us, chat. We're dum-dums right now.
We're bimboing right now.
Hardcore bimboing.
I need a hero to tell me what episode I watched because it was just so good. I didn't count the number, even though
I need a hero. Yeah, you're damn it. You're X-ray. You're Asian X-ray girl. You're supposed to be good with the numbers. X-ray Asian. We're killing it today.
Or
this is
X-ray
great.
Asian. I don't know where you're going with that. So
something like that. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Oh my goodness.
But, yes. So the 2 episodes that we're doing, 5 and 6. Okay. Thank you so much, Jonathan. You are goated, my friends. All right. So thank you guys for joining us, by the way. I'm doing a terrible job of everything right now. It's one of those days.
Welcome to the boomerisms. It's all good.
Ooh.
Thank you, Lord Thoth.
Hi, Lord Thoth. Because it's cute. That's why. Because it's adorable. Because you should always be doing that.
I had a call today, and I was buying all these like local meats. They do like a year's worth of meat type of thing, and the person's like, "What's that light in the background?" I'm like, I stream.
I love the hesitancy. You're like,
he's like, "Oh, that's so cool." And I go, "Thank you." And he goes, "That was such a streamer. Thank you."
Thank you. It was. That was adorable. So cute. It's true. It's true. You go into like, no matter what you're doing, when you're interacting with people, for some reason, you tend to kind of go into streamer mode a little bit where you're like, oh, now I have to be on. It's weird. It's so weird.
X-Ray Girl sound like it kind of doesn't it blends all together, and for you it's the same.
I was just gonna say, after hanging out with you, like all the times I've hung out with you, it's only been twice, but it feels like we've known each other forever. You're exactly the same.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing because then you're not being fake online.
You see, a lot of people that like you see stream and then you meet them in real life and they're completely different persons. They're completely different people, and it's really bizarre. Just so X-Ray Girl knows her sound is good, says Tricky.
Yeah, I was watching and doing a reaction on Locals, and they said my mic was way too loud, so I don't know what was happening on that side of things.
Lord, Tricky, you the best. Ooh, okay. So these episodes were, I don't remember Torchwood. I know we've talked about this. I've seen all of Torchwood. Doctor Who I remember because I guess I've seen it more than once, but Torchwood I've only seen once, and it was years ago. And I remember loving the show, but I remember very little about it. So as I'm watching these, it feels like completely new to me as well. And these so far have probably been 2 of my favorite episodes. Episode 6 more so than 5. But yeah. Okay, good. We're on the same page here.
Episode out of the way. Well, not the hard. The not so liked comparative to that. I still liked it.
No, it was still really good. I remember as I was watching it, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is a great episode. And I thought it was really cool because, okay, look, I'm just going to head on tell you how insanely nerdy I am. When I was growing up, I was super into fairies. So I read like books about fairies, and I'm talking like fairy, and not like fairy tales, but like actual fae folk. Yeah, like folklore shit like that.
Where was your favorite fairies? Because there's a bunch of different ones, and I remember learning that because I was in Ireland and one of my best friends that lives there, she was telling these stories about the fairies that lived there, which
Yes.
were evil. Well, not evil, just
They're mischievous. They're like
mischievous. Exactly.
they're like chaotic evil almost, or like chaotic.
But not to the level of killing people. It was just like, "Oh,
No.
put your shoes together. Oh, I'm gonna trip you. Oh, there's gonna be" yeah,
Oh, we're gonna steal your children.
Not that.
So, like, yeah, there are different ones. I've read stories about ones that take place in like Romania. There's some really, really fucking cool. I mean, these are also a lot of them are fiction and stuff, but chaotic neutral. Thank you, Farafima.
Thank
That's
you.
what it is. Chaotic neutral. That's what I was
You
looking
play D,
for.
don't you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Tricky says fairies steal away human children. Yes, they do. And that's what I loved so much about this episode. They knew their fucking fairy lore. It was really, really cool. But yeah, they have different stories from around the world. I also really like modern fairy tales where they're oh god, what's the genre? But it's happening alongside our world in modern day times.
Oh,
So
like not paranormal, in another
no.
dimension?
No, like it actually had like they're part of this world kind of. And it's happening like Tithe is one of the books that I fucking love. It's so good. I read it in like middle school or something, but I always read it. It's just a quick easy read. But oh my god, they're called something. I think
Urban
fa-
legend?
urban fairy tales, I think. I want to say it's
Okay.
urban fairy tales.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you,
Saw.
Saw.
Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so lovely. We've got urban fantasy. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, that's what it is. A
Ooh,
golden
okay.
shower boy. I've renamed
Oh.
them golden shower boys.
I think that's the first time I've heard you say that because you usually say a yellow boy only.
Yeah, I changed it to golden shower boy because I'm disgusting.
Bring it on.
This isn't something I've been asking for years or anything. So anyway, love and hugs. I don't know if I'll like it. I just want to know. That's all. You don't know until you try it. And I think it could be possibly, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll hate it. I just want to know.
You know what? I will probably say the equivalent because I've peed on myself by accident with a cup, to pee in the cup. It just feels warm. I don't know.
It's warm.
Yeah. Besides
I
that,
might like
I
that.
was kind of grossed out by, peeing on myself in the toilet that was public, but
I don't want to pee on myself and I don't want it in my mouth. I feel like I need to specify that. That's not where I'm after. Like maybe on my boobs or something.
There was a movie or a show where the guy thought he was meeting a guy to get peed on. And he was like, I have got to pee so bad. I've been drinking liters of water to prep for this. And I'm like laughing because I'm like, oh yeah, you want to make it as clear as possible too, right?
Yeah, because you don't want to give them too much of a golden shower boy. You want it to be like a mellow yellow shower boy.
Mellower the better.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, sorry guys.
Sorry everyone, that was a tangent we went off on. So anyway, love and hugs. Saw, thank you so much, my friend. Xray Girl, you have been bringing the jokes the past few weeks on Friday Night Tights.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying. I'm getting more comfortable talking now that I'm learning nerdisms ever so slowly.
You're killing it. Look at you're learning so many nerdisms here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Saw.
Saw, thank you so much. He said you two look beautiful tonight. Saw, you're just a
thank you. This
little
is a
gem of a boy.
A hoodie dress.
Ooh,
I can't put on.
Hoodie dresses are so cozy.
I'll show you the full. Well, I kind of did earlier, but yeah.
I want to see it again. Backhand. I don't know why I whispered that. Backhand, thank you so much. Also, we've got an orange boy from Backhand. Backhand, you never have to do this, you sweet little soul. He says, hi, ladies. Love and hugs. This makes up for yesterday.
Oh, what happened yesterday that you had to make it up for her?
He does it. He donates a golden shower boy every single stream. And if he misses one, he'll make up for it. So yesterday he couldn't donate or super chat because if YouTube was like acting up or something, it wouldn't let him log in. And I was like, Backhand, you don't have to do that. But he does it anyway because he's just a sweet boy. Because he's such a sweet boy.
I like oranges more than golden showers.
Yeah.
But not in my eyeball.
Not on your eyeball. No. No bueno. That was not so good.
No.
Tricky, thank you so much for the super chat. We got 5 from Tricky. He said, how do we go from talking about Torchwood to golden showers? Oh, right, Xia.
Yes. let's
so
just know
sorry.
that we will talk about anything and everything, and most of the time, if we go on a tangent, it's either something sexual or food.
It's
Sports
always
and
one or
food,
the
yeah.
other. Yes. Let's find a way to bring those two together.
Oh! Oh!
I've never done that. I'd like to try it.
Oh, I okay, tangent. I
Hmm.
listened to a podcast where
Mhm.
apparently someone who had, like, emailed in a story about food and sex, they froze Kit Kats, like, put it in the freezer, and apparently put it up their hoo-ha, which I don't recommend, by the way,
Oh, probably
and
not a good idea.
had
You
the
want ants?
guy eat
That's
it
how you
out
get
of
ants.
her, and
Oh.
I'm sorry, that just does not sound appetizing whatsoever. I wouldn't want something cold up there either. Ooh.
No, that doesn't sound so good to me. I think we could work food in other ways because I seriously, ants. You know,
In
that
your
sounds
hoo
terrible. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound. I mean, you could shower right afterwards. I just mean like after like chocolate sauce or something or whipped cream, just on the body. You don't have to like put a
well,
little here, put a little
I
here.
have licked whipped cream off someone.
Oh yeah! I wonder who that could have
I
been.
have no idea.
That was so fun. That was
Well
really
done.
fun. Okay, so anyway, guys, sorry about the tangent. Back to Torchwood. So the first episode is about the Fae folk, and what I loved about this one is they really take a break. They deviate from the usual alien trope. Actually, the
Yes.
next two episodes do, and
Yes.
this goes completely into like magic and fairies, and there's no scientific explanation, and they don't solve shit at the end of the episode, and I loved that about it.
Yeah. It was weird to see him get so throttled because Jack gets like he's usually in control of everything, but this was the first time he was like, there's no name for them. They're old as F. You
Mhm.
know, we don't know how they work. And we saw that beginning portion in the episode, which I thought was like, okay, so I guess we're getting a glimpse of what he was like back in the day. I don't understand what this whole like people dead army flashback ties into
The
it, but
rose petals, yeah.
yeah, but it was a great way for them to integrate it, like, they do this so well where they introduce a mystery and then slowly every, like, couple minutes, they introduce one little another tidbit until finally the puzzle is all together and you're like, "Oh, it all makes sense now." And
Which
it's
I
very
liked.
um, it makes it very exciting to watch it, comparatively to, being told about what's going on all the time.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoy that. Plus, that old woman, I thought she was, crazy to take pictures of fairies. That was a dumb move of her.
I kept thinking that every time the flash went off that they were gonna, because again I as I'm watching it I'm like, oh yeah, this seems vaguely familiar, but I just don't remember stuff. I kept thinking as she was taking pictures of them that they were gonna see the flash and like come attack her, but they
Me
didn't.
too.
But they still ended up killing her because they took note of her knowing about their existence. Like they turned from their little cute little fairies into the fucking like crazy nasty gremlin guys.
Monsters.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
monsters, and followed her and ended up drowning her with the fucking rain
Yeah.
like
And
a turkey.
I mean, let's talk about the link between Jack and her.
Oh my god.
That was a shock because when she had invited him to go to the presentation and they had a chat, and I'm like, they seem too familiar. I think they boned.
Yeah, yeah, they boned and they made a pact that they were going to die together, and like holy shit. That what a pact for well, see, here's the thing. Was he immortal at that point? I don't know if they explained that.
When did he meet her? It was like 1900s because when he had the flashback, that was early 1900s, right? Or was that World War II that he was in? I don't know.
I thought it was World War II, but I could be wrong. So
Oh,
19
the train was 1909. I
Oh,
wrote in the
okay.
notes,
So
but
that's World War One then, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, regardless, that is X-Ray Girl's heart was fluttering the entire
Oh my god.
episode.
I mean, that beginning shot of him topless. Come on.
I get it. I get it.
If you had Tennant topless, I'm sure Xia would be like puddle on the floor moment.
What? I would never do anything like that.
Oh my goodness. So it was cool to see someone he was actually connected with back in the day, but pretending
Mhm.
he wasn't, because
And pretending like he was his son.
that would be so wild. Like, did she actually believe that he was her son? Or sorry, he was his like her lover's son?
I guess she was like, same smile, same everything. It's like, no, lady, same face. I know as time goes on, maybe you don't remember, but I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. If I saw someone who looked like an ex of mine when I was 90, but was exactly the same, would I think, oh, you just look a lot like him? Who knows?
Who
That's weird.
knows? And it was cool to see him feel vulnerable too and so protective of someone, because he's not super protective of the team. It's more like it's actual work where he's like, okay, I got to make sure my team stays alive. But this was like, I'm actually going to do from heaven to hell, protect this woman as best as I can. With the way he rushed to her comparatively in the second episode, of course, when other people are in danger, he, you know,
They'll be fine.
they'll be fine.
They can take
They're
care of
trained.
themselves. Yeah, whatever. But this lady, I loved this lady though. There was something about her. The way the actress played this character was so you just can't help but be like, yeah, she's kind of being stupid and a little bit naive, but you can't help but feel kind of protective of her and just love her because she's so pure. She's just this pure old lady that wants to believe in something good.
Yeah, she definitely played the like the sweet grandma who'd give you cookies type of thing in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And her wanting the fairies and just to observe them, like she was like, I feel so blessed being able to see them. Like, this is awesome. I hope to see them again. And yeah, well, that unfortunately didn't turn out positive for her. And
No.
I'm just glad they didn't hurt the cat. I really thought they hurt the cat real bad because it screeched pretty ill.
I know. I know. I can't that's a couple things I can't don't handle super well is when animals get fucked up or when kids get fucked up. Like anything else, you can like peel the skin off of a human being in a movie and I'm like, "Ooh, cool."
Mhm,
But
mhm.
like as soon as they start fucking with animals and kids, I'm like,
Yeah.
"I can't."
Speaking of kids, that intro scene with the pedo, I told my, chat too earlier, I was like, "He's either a pedo or he's the dad being like, 'I miss her,' type of
Yeah.
thing."
But it turns out he's the pedo. They went fucking dark on that one. Holy shit. When
God.
he like started talking, oh god.
When he was
When he
like,
went to the
"Oh,
police station,
my mom told you to pick you up."
it will not even that. When he goes to the police station and starts talking about it's little girls, it's their little bodies and their smiles, I was like, "Oh god, oh god, oh god." It was
Oh.
so uncomfortable. But it was very well done. Did they get an actual pedophile for that? I don't know. But yeah,
I
they
think
went so dark.
he was just really good at acting that part,
Yeah.
and I really hope he isn't a pedo because that would been
A real bummer.
awkward, but he did a good job doing it, and that for the most of the episode where we didn't actually see the fairies, it actually created, like, the scariness to it because we kinda did see it at the beginning, but we're like,
Mhm.
were they attacking as the, her, or were they in their, like, fairy cutesy bodies? We
Cute
don't
little
know.
light bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're adorable white bright light, but I think they were attacking in their, form.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so. That's what it seemed like. And I liked the way that when they killed people, the rose petals would come up out of their mouth. Like it was just it
it
was
seemed
so
innocent.
it seemed innocent, but it was so ominous and they
Yeah.
did that so well.
Yeah, and it was very interesting because when they found, of course, the pedo's body after he got what killed in his jail cell, no marks, uh, oxygen deficiency, so asphyxiation, and how does one do that? And when we find out how it actually happens, ugh,
It's crazy.
that was okay. Their CG obviously has gotten significantly better since Doctor Who episode 1, but that was freaky to see.
It was, but I will say it got better. But when you first see the fairies, you're like, "Oh, that's some old CGI." But it is a lot
Yeah.
better. It is a lot better, but it's still like, "Oof, that's rough." I think they do honestly. What they do the best is the practical effects, like the weevils. That was phenomenal. I wish they had found a way to do the fairies with practical effects, but I'm not sure they could have pulled that off.
Not those ones, because their bodies are so malformed, a human
Yeah.
can't mimic that action. Also, how does one act a whole arm going down your mouth?
That was wild. Holy. Also, it's so funny. Some of the people they killed, I felt like the old lady was so sad, but when they killed the pedo, obviously you're like, yeah, good. Fuck that guy.
Yeah!
Yeah, like you're celebrating. And then also when they killed the stepdad, I was like, yeah, fuck that guy. He's an asshole. When he said to the little girl, he's like, no
Oh
wonder your dad left when you were a kid. He's like, he
That was
saw the I
awful.
was like, holy shit.
Wait, he said that, and then, there was one more thing that he, said that was just so awful. He's like, "You have no friends at
Yeah.
all." I'm like, "Rude."
Yeah.
Hi, Johan.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
he wasn't my favorite. I don't think he deserved death per
Probably not, but I
se.
wasn't super mad that he died.
Well, and I think the final straw where I was like, "I'm glad he got severely hurt," was when he slapped the girl.
Yeah, he fucking backhanded her. Backhand,
Uh-huh.
was that you? Yeah, he like straight up straight up backhanded her right in the face. I was like, "Oh fuck, this
That
guy
was
just."
that was intense.
I think maybe after that he maybe did deserve to die. I think if you would like backhand a kid in the face, you should die probably. Is that harsh? Am I being a little bit harsh? I'm in a mood where I'm just like kill everyone.
I mean, hey, everyone is allowed to think what they want. I don't know if like backhanding equals death per se, but everyone can think.
It was a kid. You can't backhand a kid. Oh, backhand did do it.
Oh,
Ugh.
backhand,
How could you?
bad
She was a
boy.
sweet, innocent little girl.
How are you typing in chat right now? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, he wasn't a good person. I felt so bad for the mom though, for all the things
Yeah.
that happened.
She
But
got fucking wrecked. Her husband died and her kid and within 5 minutes of each other, her kid disappears into fucking fairyland. The craziest thing about this episode is like I feel like this maybe I'm wrong and I'm just not remembering correctly, but I feel like this is the first time we've seen Captain Jack give up. He gave up. He's like, take the kid.
yes, because even in Doctor Who, he never gave up in those scenes, even when it felt so dire. And I'm just thinking, all
Mm-hmm.
the episodes we've seen, he's never given up at all. So to see him feel so powerless, be powerless, and just let it happen. And that's why I said this was the first time I've seen him actually scared.
Mm-hmm. Because he had I think what it is for a lot of things, there was some sort of explanation. He's like, okay, this alien came from this planet, and this is how we can defeat it, and this is what we have to do. For this, he had nothing. He's like, I don't know how to stop this. I don't know how to get around this. He's like, there's no way for me to fight this. Like he was just completely powerless.
Yeah. And it's really sad because he has obviously experienced a century of stuff at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and this was the one time he had no answers whatsoever, and it sucks cuz he got so upset with even Gwen. She's like, "Stop her." He's like, "You can't do anything."
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? And it's such an interesting point too from Tricky is the power and knowledge chasm between Jack and the Doctor. Jack isn't quite at Doctor level.
He'll
He
never
just
reach
isn't.
it.
I mean, at least as far as we know, we don't know how long he's gonna live. If he lives as long as the Doctor, maybe he will, but we don't know where he's at this point.
But he also can't travel like the Doctor,
True, true. He's not
unfortunately.
traveling through space and time and
Well, he had that
encountering.
machine though when he first met Rose that would have time traveled.
That's true. That's true. Hmm.
So if he could find one of those, then great, but I don't know otherwise.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
it's not the TARDIS. It's not the same thing as the TARDIS, unfortunately.
And they're just different. He's spending a lot of his time on Earth dealing with aliens, but it's not, you wouldn't encounter as much as you would if you were traveling through space and time the way the Doctor does. And the fact that the Doctor has lived through, time wars and countless not countless, but a lot of regenerations, 10, 11,
Mhm,
12, what are we
mhm.
at now? 15. We're pretending like it stops at 12. It's fine.
We'll pretend it stops at 12. I'm good with that.
Stops at 12. Yeah, there was no abomination after 12. That did
No
not happen.
doctors after that
No.
whatsoever.
No, absolutely
Oh,
not.
God.
We got a lovely golden shower boy from Zachariah
Ooh.
Nunez. Zechariah. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so lovely. Another golden shower boy. He says, I'm listening in times 2 to catch up. Hell yes. I love
I've
watching you
done that.
lovely ladies live. Hail and keep up the entertaining coverage. Zachariah, thank you.
Cheers.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I've missed doing this, so
So
we are
much.
here. We are
It
here.
has been so long. And I know we have like other stuff going on too, because but it's just, it makes and I'm going to be, and it just makes me sad.
I know, but we'll get back to it as soon as
We
we
will.
can, of course. Of
Always.
course. But yeah, so the fairies, when they're talking, at first with a "Oh, human child, come to us," or something like that,
Hmm.
it was a line that just repeated through the whole show, and um it felt eerie and creepy, and I mean, goes with the fairy lore of luring children away. But I really liked how in this episode, the chosen one, that child they choose to protect,
Hmm.
they come into the fold and become one of the fairies in itself. They don't like eat the child. I don't know what all fairy stories are like, but they also have a moral code. They didn't actually hurt the kids.
No,
They
they
scared
don't
them.
hurt the kids. They scare the kids, but they don't hurt them. And when they take the kids, which is arguably not the best, the kid just lives with them forever. That's sort of like, from what I always read of fairy lore and stuff, they were called changelings, and they would come and steal these kids and take them to fairyland, where the kids would be there for 100 years, but they would still be a little kid because time doesn't pass the same way.
Mm.
So, and eventually they'd grow old, or not grow old, but grow older and like grow up and stuff, or they'd stay the same age. It kind of depends on the lore. But yeah.
Yeah, and it was very weird at the very end when, you have that pivotal moment where Jack's holding on to the girl saying, "You can't have her." And she's telling him, like, "If you do this, people will die. Many, many people will die." And I'm
Hmm.
thinking, "Oh my God, it's so much creepier that a child is saying this to you, an adult."
By the way, they got the best kid for that because she was creepy as shit. When she was standing there smiling in the middle of the playground, I was like, oh my God, this
With the
child
light
is a
shining,
devil child.
oh my God. She would work very well if she dyed her hair black.
Oh,
Resident Evil, the Red Queen.
yes. Agreed,
Mhm.
actually. That would work really, really
Yeah,
well. Oh,
British Red Queen.
she's probably too old for it now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Tricky. The "Oh Human Child Come Away With Us" is part of a lot of old fairy stories. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Oops. I tried.
Tooch,
So I can do
tooch.
them this way, but I can't do it this way.
There we go. I can do it that way, but not with the chair.
Damn it.
Flexible arms. Yeah, and I think at that point when she said all the things to Jack, that's when he knew he couldn't stop her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she wanted to go willingly too, and it
She
wasn't
wanted to go willingly. She was bewitched, but at the same time, I think he was realizing that it was either let this one child go who's not going to be harmed, or the world is lost. So what do you do,
I think I would choose what he did, honestly. He has to,
Yeah.
as a leader, he has to pick his battles. Do you wanna fight these fairies? I don't think you will win. Obviously, look, they made a single portion of like, area rain. So much a woman is drowned, and then at the end, there is no water in the garden. That is freaky.
Yeah. Well, because they control the elements like that. And so they find a way to work it to their advantage. And that's the thing too with that. You can't fight that? How do you fight that? How do you fight someone suffocating you from the inside out, essentially, with like rose petals and water and stuff? There's no way to fight that.
I wouldn't know how. I wouldn't want to know how. And I thought fighting like Cybermen and the Daleks were scary. Imagine fairies versus Daleks.
Whoa, that'd be wild. The Daleks just start puking up fucking rose petals and dying in their little machines.
Because they can get through that really easily. Like
Mhm.
she made it so eerie. That moment when mom went into the room and you saw the shadow just like go into the window and the
Mhm.
girl just stops talking and she's like, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, terrifying.
And she's like, fairies are everywhere. They could be in here right now. What? Like, she was just so good at being creepy every which way possible, and I did feel bad that she was bullied. No kid should be bullied, but, yeah, I'm sure she felt very happy when the girls got scared.
That was actually a pretty good moment. That's like in those moments, that's I don't know if you've ever been bullied, but it's you've always hoped that something like that's gonna come back and
Mhm,
give you some sort of vindication on your bullies, but it never happens.
and, well, in real life, like, if that were to happen, like, a kid being bullied, I honestly have no idea what I would end up telling my child, like, what do you do? Do you fight back? Do you tell the teacher? Depends on the level of bullying too.
It depends on the level of bullying. I'm not a parent, but if I was, honestly, I really do think that I would say fight back. Like I'd teach my kid how to fucking fight. I'd be like, you're gonna learn, you're gonna go to whatever martial arts you can choose, whatever martial arts you want to go to, but you're gonna do it, you're gonna get good at it. And let me tell you right the fuck now, if someone hits you, you punch them back. That'd be
Oh, yeah, don't be the first
the
to
kind of
hit.
parent I'd be.
Don't be the first to hit, but be the first to finish it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Never be the exactly. That's exactly what it is. Also, if you fuck with my kid, I remember one time there was this little boy bullying my little sister, and this was when I think I was in like second grade. My sister might have been in kindergarten. I might have been third, something like that. We were little though. My dad scared the shit out of this kid. He didn't touch him, but the kid was fucking crying.
Oh, what did
My
he
dad's just a big scary dude, so he came
oh.
in and was like, "You ever fucking touch my daughter?" Get scared the shit out of this boy.
Oh,
Oh, it was
dang.
so funny.
Don't mess with, Zia's dad,
No,
ever
oh,
type
no.
of okay.
He picked up a guy by the throat once because the guy, like,
Oh,
grabbed
you
me at
told
a
me about
yeah, I
that.
told you about that. It grabbed me at a we were at a punk show, and the guy,
Mhm,
like, came up and sorta grabbed me and picked me up, and I didn't know this guy, at all, so it wasn't like this was not like a boyfriend or something. We were just all
mhm.
drunk. Like, I was drunk, he was drunk, my dad was drunk. My dad picked him up by the throat and scared the ever living fuck out of him. It was actually pretty funny.
Oh, that would be freaky to see. They're like, "Okay, Chad dad, got it."
Yep.
Oh gosh. And I think another scene I really liked was after the kid kind of got taken and mama was like super upset about everything. You see Jack super emotional. I think, his lover died that day and having that
Mhm.
on top of that, where you lost the kid. Everyone was so mad at him for letting him go or letting the girl go. But I think that as a leader, you have to make these horrible choices, and it just solidifies the fact that even if they didn't like what he did, they kind of have to still respect him.
Mhm.
And I like that team dynamic because you should be respecting your boss whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
Or hopefully you do.
Well, yeah, if you don't, then
Like
working for them
working.
is gonna be yeah, exactly, it's gonna
Oh,
be really hard.
yeah. Oh, and the way that episode ended, that was so creepy. I actually got goosebumps the way it ended. When the TV turned on randomly. Like, how does that happen randomly? I
How's it
guess it's
ended?
like,
Oh, go ahead, sorry. I
oh,
just
I
got
was gonna
excited.
say, get guess it's like, kinda just saying, "I'm okay," because they did say, "You will see me I will be able to go throughout time," or whatever that line was that she said, do you remember?
I can't remember, it's really bad, I just watched it.
Yeah, but she's like, "I'll be able to travel through time," essentially. I'm
Yeah.
extremely paraphrasing at this point. Um, and then to see that first picture with the fairies, which we seen earlier in the episode,
Mhm.
and she zooms in.
But now it's the little girl. Now it's the little girl. You're like, "Holy shit." It was
Oh my
crazy.
god. I can't imagine what was going on through her head. She's like, "Well, glad she's fine, I guess."
She's good. She's living we have 69 viewers right now.
69.
Fuck yeah.
But, yeah, to see that and it I think the thing that made it even extra creepy was when they said the "Come away, oh human child" and the
Mhm.
kid voices, and you're just like, "Holy crap."
Yeah. They did a really this episode was really good, and that's really saying something that I liked the next one better, because this one they did a phenomenal job on. I really liked that they clearly did their research. They did a lot
Mhm.
of like typical fairy lore tropes and things like that, but then tied it into Torchwood with all of the characters and all of them having to kind of try to make these decisions. Captain Jack obviously having to make the hardest one, but everybody else, had to stand by and kind of let it happen,
Mhm.
because what else could they do?
Couldn't do anything else, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was, I would say like a 9 out of 10 episode. Um, it wasn't perfect, but it was up there.
It was. It was really, and it was a nice deviation from what they usually do in Torchwood, because it wasn't, again, it wasn't aliens, it wasn't any sort of technology, because it's always usually aliens or advanced technology or both. And with this one, it was like it was ancient, and it was magic, and it was unexplainable, and it was
A force to be reckoned with, and,
yeah. Thank you.
I wonder if there ever is a fairy episode with Doctor Who, because I think that would be so interesting to see how, the Doctor would deal with it, and it depends on the situation, I suppose. There obviously probably would have been a chosen one, and I don't know, could you make it so it's scary? It kinda reminds me of the art episode where the girl drew things, but, I mean, we didn't like the kid.
No, that kid sucked. That kid was the worst, and her act. And look, it's just I don't like to shit on people's acting or like whatever, because but
For
it was
kids
bad.
especially. Yeah,
It was,
it was
yeah, it was
bad.
it's exactly, it was bad. Chloe's not here. I was like, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
They
This
should
is
have dubbed it
terrible.
with another person's voice, but, whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about that episode, unless you have anything else.
No, I think that's all of it. I'm like really trying to think back to some stuff that happened, but no, that was really good. We hit all the major points and stuff. The next episode
Yeah!
is
Okay,
so
okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's start.
ah,
Seeing that first, part where the woman stops on the road, and then I guess she gets kidnapped, but we weren't really sure what happened, right? There was the dead zone. She didn't have
yeah.
signal, seeing a body on the floor. I thought, "Okay, is this about maybe, like, ritualistic kidnapping?" Okay, I guess I was kinda right about that.
You were
Wasn't
kind
sure.
of right about that. Yeah, this one, I know, and I know we're just gonna like, well,
Well, what did you think? Or did you know what was happening already?
I kind of remembered this episode, and as we got closer, I was like, "Oh, that's right." And what I loved so, 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 so much about this episode is, again, they deviated from the usual formula, which is
Mhm.
nice, and they went to what is realistically what we deal with every day. We're the monsters.
Yes, I legit thought
Humans
maybe
are.
it's like a bug monster or an alien that, like, came in and kidnapped you. Like, "This is a nice place to find people to eat. This is great."
Did it make you question the burgers at the beginning?
I didn't think about it, but now I
You think they
am.
were human burgers?
No, okay, so thinking about that now, I don't think they were human burgers because they seemed to really like eating their own food. Um, so they would just keep it all to themselves, maybe freeze it. They probably have a very big deep freeze. From the looks of it, they had a pretty good sized fridge in their little torture chamber, prison room. So who the freak knows about that? But
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
I personally like, oh, imagine. I don't think they would have made human burgers. It would have been a big waste for them.
Yeah, they wanted to eat all of that.
At
But
least
I
the
did
guy
think
did.
about it. Guy oh god, yeah, they were fucking oof. That
Yeah.
episode, and they do really keep you on your toes the entire time. They keep, really just trying to figure out what kind of creature it is. They keep
Well,
calling it they keep calling them
a creature.
creatures.
Well, think about it. So these guys are country bumpkins from the looks of it with influences with cops. One
You
of them
see
is a
those
cop.
teeth? Yeah, well, it's like the cousin was a cop or something,
Yeah, so they obviously have
or
some
the nephew.
use of technology, and they have the advantage of knowing the lay of the land. So I get why they did the people in the cars, but the people at the inn, I guess they're traveling there to hang out. Why would they kill them in the inn and leave their bodies there? That was very strange. So it kind of deviated a little from the idea of that whole cannibalism.
I think they were doing it as, in my opinion, or what I thought anyway, is they were doing it as a trap to
Bring
get
people
people
in.
to bring people in is my thought. Thanks, I'm going to a business meeting. Yeah, I think it was a trap because they were going there to investigate disappearances, right? There were 17 disappearances, so that's why they were
Yeah.
out there. And so they're putting these bodies so people come in and investigate and be like, what the fuck is going on here? And then, ooh, because that's what they did. That's like an old trap. If you ever see someone, and this sucks because this is the worst fucking thing, right? And this is why we can never help people because this shit happens. And then that's why so many people in New York are like, you mind your own fucking business, even when someone's getting fucked up, right? Because a very common trap that people will set, especially people who are, trying to rob you, is someone will pretend to be injured. And when you stop, they come and beat the shit out of you and take all your stuff, take your car, whatever it is.
True.
So it was kind of, it was that sort of that whole trope again, is they put a body out there. So she would stop, investigate the body and be like, holy shit, what's happening? And then that's when they snatched her and she got eaten.
Yeah. And they did a good job hiding the fact that it was obviously human in the end.
Mm-hmm.
The people who were kidnapping these people and eating them. And I'm just surprised with the way they even caught Yanto and Tosh, that they were that fast because they don't look fast.
No, they did not look fast. And also, the kid kept saying things like, and this was, I know, to throw us off the tracks of what ultimately the twist was going to be, but he kept saying things like, you can't stop them, they're too strong. And then you find out they're just regular people. So how strong are these people?
I mean, they're Tick, the mom and dad, or the nurse lady. I don't think
The
she was a nurse.
nurse, no, she was
Don't think
not
she
a
was a nurse.
nurse.
And her husband, but they're big. Like, they're like, if they sat on you type
True.
of thing, that you're gonna hurt.
I'd be screwed.
Yes, yeah, you would get squished. Okay.
I would get squished.
Yeah. And I mean, the nephew obviously is going to be at least somewhat physically active. I don't know who else is in this village that's part
Mhm.
of this tradition, but only 3 people got arrested. I think there should have been more from the sounds of it.
I think they all should have gotten arrested. You walk in and there was a group full of people in there eating everyone.
Yeah. The whole, even the car thing, I thought they were like sentient and they could GPS into the car and then move it around, because I was like waiting to see like a body behind the car, or if there was none. I don't know. It's not a fat joke. Not a
Not
fat
a fat joke, Johan.
No, if someone the size of that man like fell on Xia, she wouldn't be able to get out from under them.
No, it's just being small is terrible. I need a gun, and this is why I need a gun, because I know that if I got into a fight with just about anyone, I stand zero, unless it's another girl my size, maybe I stand zero chance. Because what the hell am I gonna do? Anyone could just, like, a big guy could just pick me up, and I'd be like, and he'd be like, okay, quiet down, and I'd be fucking screwed.
Yeah, that's called physics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we saw a lot of great moments here. Let's go to the kissing when they were talking about the last person you snogged.
Oh, that was so good. Okay, first off, Yanto's bitch ass. Every time I see him, he fucking irritates me. Every time I see Yanto's bitch ass, and he's like, Lisa, shut the fuck up, Yanto.
All I could say was, that was awkward. And then Tosh goes, Owen was my last snog. And I'm like, oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, because then Owen goes,
my last one was Gwen. And then Tosh goes like, was it more than just like stalking? Then Jack goes, stop it.
Yep, Jack is like, and that was so funny because clearly Tosh has a thing for Owen. Like, she was asking, like, oh shit, what's going on here? Because she was obviously a bit jealous.
It was just great character development within like a minute and a half and 2 minutes, where you're establishing, okay, she has a crush on him. Owen obviously is a player. Gwen is obviously awkward. And then Yanto's a little sulky beesh. And then Jack's like, but does this count non-human? And you're just like, oh, Jack, you're so cute.
Jack is the best.
So I like this little section here was like great, like levity with him, and then awkwardness with Yanto, and then super awkward with the rest of them. Like, ooh.
It was a good little dynamic. It sort of shows how they're getting closer to each other. And that's what happens, right? When you get close to someone or you work with a group of people, there's all these little workplace dynamics that can affect how
Mhm.
everyone sort of interacts with each other. So it was really interesting to see. And I definitely completely forgot that this is the episode where Gwen fucking goes for it with.
Well, oh my god, okay, so then the next one, they're, like, going for a
Yeah.
walk, looking for things,
Mm-hmm.
and that moment when they're like when she's like, "Why'd you say that?" Blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, "Sexual tension, okay, got it." And then they're on that tree, and she pushed him up, like, aggressively, like, because she's so mad, and then he flips her, and I'm like,
Ooh, it was actually really hot. I was like,
all I can
whoa.
say was they acted that scene out so well because, like, they're almost there. He's almost like, "You want this. You know you want this. You've been begging
Oh,
for it." And
yeah.
I'm like, and then Zia's like, "Yes, I was."
The chemistry was so good. It really was. Like, you're watching it and you're like, "Hey."
I'm not attracted to you, but I could be attracted to you in this moment.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. I was like, never really thought of him as attractive, but hold on a sec.
Hold your horses. Captain Jack, who?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Owen, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Workplace dynamics, is that what Zia calls fucking in the supply closet? I don't know what you're talking about, Johan. I've never done such a thing. No, I really haven't. I did have one of my coworkers once try to finger me in the changing room at the gym, and I was like, Daniel.
Not at the gym. No.
It was
Not an ideal place.
he did it so awkwardly too. That was the only time he ever came on to me, and I was just fine. I didn't even have it in me to be mad at him because I was like, that was terrible.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
so bad.
God. And, like, I almost didn't want that scene to end because then all of a sudden she saw the shadow and they're like this for like pretending to make out, I guess. And he's like, "Do you have your gun?" And it's like, "I'll go this way, you go that way." I'm like, "Is it actually gonna end?" I don't know.
Extra girl's like, no.
It's getting hot in here. So, yeah, that was interesting to see that change so quickly because they obviously they know their job is super dangerous, and even in the midst of sexual tension and fighting, they can turn it off at a dime. So again, even more character development.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm. Which I
so
thought was good because even though, yeah, like you said, in that moment, hi Dan, they were clearly having some sexual tensions happening. They were able to turn it off and get right back to business, which is quite impressive.
mhm, mhm. And this whole episode had a lot of moments where Owen was like almost tenderly caring for her. Like, "Oh, don't go outside by yourself. You can't walk by yourself trying to help her." And then she's like, "I can do it." And then he catches her and like, "Oh, so sweet." Uh the taking the bullets. I mean, he's a doctor. He's supposed to do that anyways,
No,
but I
but he
mean,
was
it's
kept
still
trying to take care of her.
mhm.
It
I
was
think
sweet.
I think that if it was like say Tosh, he would have been more brass about it. Like, "You can take it."
No, there were like some really tender moments. And when he was like, you need to be resting, and like the way he looked at her, it was very clear that he cared for her and cared about her. And the way he looked
Mhm,
at her in that moment, and he knew he was fighting a losing battle because she wasn't going to listen to him, but he really was looking
mhm.
out for her.
Yeah. And even she was being tender with him too when she was getting the bullets out. She like kept her hand on him. I for a second thought she was gonna start like playing with his hair or something.
It was getting to that point. Yeah,
Oh,
forgot the amount of sexual tension between those two in this episode, and then
well,
she bangs him.
yep, yep. Well, okay. Yes, Wakener. Well, I've said this before.
Yes, poor
Reese,
Reese, because he's so good to her. He's so good to her
but there's an interesting line that she says when before you find out that they had banged, and she's
during
like,
her monologue.
yeah, she's like, I was supposed to do this and this, and I was working for the police department. We were gonna have kids, blah 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 blah. It's like almost her lamenting what could have been if she didn't find out about Torchwood, because clearly who she was and who she is now are two different people. And this is something that we see a lot when there's big significant changes in life. The biggest one, which most people can relate to, is going from school to the workforce. So sometimes the relationship is good for school, but it's not good for when you work. And then it's the same thing here. Public work, you're a policeman, all this, you're able to come home and talk about it, but she can't talk about it with her man when she goes home. It's a big secret. She's always working, he's always missing her. They have two separate lives, so who can she share that with?
Exactly. And that's 100%. She can share it with the person who's going through it with her at the same time.
I'm just surprised it wasn't Captain Jack.
That's
To be
because that's
honest.
who you would go for, X-Ray Girl.
I know. There was a little sexual tension between her and Captain Jack in the beginning.
There was a moment, but I feel like with Captain Jack, he's the type of guy that will fuck anyone and everyone. And so
But
for
so is
him,
Owen.
so is Owen, but I feel like with Owen, it's in a slightly different way. Like I feel like there was more something there, if that makes sense.
More substance in terms of his personality? Or
No, more just because sometimes it's hard to explain a connection. You can't. Sometimes there's just a connection there. And there's a chemistry thing that you have with people, and it doesn't always make sense, but it is what it is. And I feel like that's sort of what they had. Whereas Captain Jack and Gwen it was an attraction. Captain Jack is obviously very good looking. He's very charismatic. He's very funny and quippy. And so all of these characteristics make you think he's attractive. But I think that with Owen, there's more of a spark, more chemistry, and more like raw sexual magnetism. That's what it seems like anyway.
that's what they're portraying. I mean, they're portraying it
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Like, really well. If Gwen was single, I'd be all for it. I'm just saying.
Exactly. If she
But
was single, it'd be fine. But Reese is like the best boyfriend ever. He's so fucking sweet to her. Like, oh my
yeah.
God.
It's like a
Oh my
dagger to the
God.
heart that she would do this to him.
I know.
Guys,
It's really
always break
sad.
up before you do that, if you want to move on. It's not it's not fair to the other,
No.
or
No.
your person.
Your
So,
person.
mhm.
Wakener one says, nah, Owen won't bang the boys. Wakener one, I don't know if that's true because remember in that episode where he sprayed the pheromones on
Oh, and
the
the
girl
boyfriend.
and the boyfriend, and he's like, great. And he grabbed both of them. Maybe he will bang the boys. I think he might.
We don't know. It's neither been confirmed or denied. Well, it kind of was implied, but it wasn't said. And
It
I kind of
wasn't
like the
said.
implication. I
It,
kind
it,
of like it.
it's as soon as he puts his arms around both of them and walks off, you know.
You know what's going down.
Yeah, he's like, I'll
I'm
put a dick
yelling
in my mouth
timber.
from time to time.
Yes, Andrew, the Eiffel Tower. I learned what that was
Oh, the
recently.
Eiffel Tower. They high five. At least you don't know what a Slovakian traffic cone is. Please don't look it up. I'm warning you.
Well,
So anyway,
this should be on was unqualified experts.
I don't think you ever want to have that knowledge. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it.
All right. Okay, so getting back to the actual like cannibalism.
Yeah.
So them going to the inn and seeing it all empty. I forgot that was an inn that people rented the house or their rooms now, because it all makes sense why it was empty. And probably the people who own the inn were part of it, but they never were really officially in the show.
No, they never specified, but it seems like the entire village was a part of it, so they were probably definitely in on it.
Yeah, like they had access to the cellar to get in. Also, that guy that was in the basement, I guess he was just a traveler then.
Yeah, I guess so. So he said that he was staying there for vacation or something, right?
Okay.
Did he
I
say
might
that?
have missed it.
Now I'm trying to remember,
It
but
was
yeah.
so interesting seeing Captain Jack get all torturer.
Yeah. Was
It was
that
a
hot
very
to you?
dark moment. No. It was dark.
Extra girl's like,
No. Well, I mean, hey, if he wants to tie me up, fine. Let's put it that way. But
I
like,
knew it.
but like when he was like, I know how to torture people. He unties the tourniquet he applied. And he's like, it's just one sharp prick where the bullet went in, and I will get you talking. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
okay. Buddy's not messing around right now. That is screwed up.
Mhm.
And we get to see more facets about him because we knew he was part of the army. We knew he was alive a long time, but we didn't know that he tortured people.
Right. It's always those things, the dark past that I like. I like when that comes up because you get to know the character a little bit more. And Captain Jack is a bit of an enigma, even though we've watched what 6 episodes with him. We still
Mm.
haven't really delved too much into Captain Jack, other than his time with the Doctor, because we saw that obviously, and how he becomes immortal with the TARDIS and everything, and then how he becomes part of well, I guess actually we don't even see how he becomes part of Torchwood. He just is.
He just is, yeah.
Hmm.
After London Dalek invasion, he came in and just somehow brought it all together to that moment. So maybe we'll get some episodes kind of showing that origin because that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember, but I hope so. I hope we
Mhm.
get that. But yeah, the I think the other thing that I really liked about that is it shows the Doctor's dark I'm the Doctor. It shows Captain Jack's dark side that he obviously suppresses really well. And he does a good job of not letting that take over or affect the way he does his job. Pretty good.
Yeah, and, like, contrasting to the Doctor, we know the Doctor has a really, really dark side, like, it makes sense, his species died, there was a war, all of that, the Daleks hate them type of business. We don't know why Jack is super dark. Maybe
Mhm.
the war? Maybe what happened during the war? Who
Yeah.
knows? We can only infer it at this moment until we get the actual story. We're just like, okay, he's not always happy and he's not always doing his leadership role. I mean, like he can get angry during his leadership role, but like it's not the same as being like, I know how to torture people. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. That's getting deep and that's getting dark and that's, showing that he did some fucked up stuff at one point.
Hmm. It's connected to the Emperor.
Wait,
Secret
what?
Squirrel? Is that real? Or are
I
you
feel like Secret
trolling?
Squirrel's just saying things.
Secret Squirrel, are you trolling us? I feel like you're trolling us.
Yeah, I think that's just some nonsense happening in chat. Um,
God.
well, but we didn't see anything after that, right? Jack claimed to be a torturer and saying he would torture the man, but he never stabbed him. He just removed the tourniquet.
That
But
hey, the part of torture is threats. It's both mental and physical.
true, good point.
Mhm. So
Absolutely.
you have to use both forms in order to get what you need. That's why I always find it so interesting those spy movies when you get like the top tier spies. I cannot imagine having to interrogate one of them because it'd be so frustrating. They won't talk, and if they talk, do you believe what they say?
Exactly. They're experts at espionage. So they're
They're
going to be the
trained.
ones, yeah. And they also have that thing in the back of their teeth where they bite down on it and they die. They're willing to die rather than tell you. So what could you do that could make
Well,
them give up the information?
it's also easier to die than get tortured.
True story.
'Cause some of the things like, if we go Game of Thrones in terms of torture, that was pretty bad when,
Ramsey.
for Ramsay tortured what's his face again?
Oh God, Reek. They called him. I forgot what his name became.
Yeah.
Reek.
Yeah,
They
Reek.
cut his dick off.
Yeah, even the idea of fingernails, like taking
Ugh.
each fingernail
Mm-mm. That's
or
horrible.
teeth or I don't know.
That's why watching him get eaten by the dog was very satisfying.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It was a great moment.
That was really good. You're like, "Yes."
Really great moment. That death was probably one of the most satisfying that and Joffrey.
Joffrey, yes, the 2 most. I feel so bad for the kid who played Joffrey, though, because he was so hated after that role, which means he just did a
He
fantastic job. He's a
did a
great
great
actor,
job.
but he quit acting after that, or at least,
Ugh,
like,
he
gave it
gets
up for
stuck
a
in a
while.
role. Most people in that show never really did any major roles except for maybe Emilia Clarke, but that's also because once she went back to her normal form, like, you couldn't tell the
Yeah.
difference. And, like, my favorite stories are of her when she's hanging out with cast members, and they're like, "Can you take a picture of us?" And she's just like, "Okay." Like, they don't recognize her at all without, like, the
Oh,
blonde wig.
that's so funny. Yeah, because she's brunette. It is, it's weird. Seeing her without the wig, you're like, "Holy shit, who is this person?" That's fucking
Yeah, she doesn't
hysterical.
look the same at all, so I can't imagine. She probably loves it, to be honest, because she seems like a very under the radar type of person.
Mhm.
Um, so would prefer that. But,
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to go places without getting harassed all the time. I can't even imagine for a celebrity where you can't even walk like, big celebrities can't even walk down the street. Like,
mhm.
that would I imagine that would get tiring at some point.
Even if you try to hide it, you'll
Mhm.
get recognized, especially in LA.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
if you walk around in LA, I don't know. I might not wanna do that nowadays.
Yeah, I was gonna say LA is I spent a lot of time there, obviously. You do see a fuck ton of celebrities. Most everybody drives, but like there are areas that you could go walk around and you do see people sometimes. But it most of the time I think celebrities go from wherever it is that they live to whatever thing they're doing. They don't spend a lot of time like perusing out and about.
Mm.
But you'll see them shopping and stuff. Like I saw um what's his face from Hayden Christensen and his the chick he was with at the time just shopping at fucking
Oh,
uh yeah, just a grocery store. I forget one was like a natural store and you just see him. It's so weird because you're just like, "Oh,
they shop
there's
for
that person."
groceries like
That's what
us.
he does. But it's weird. It's weird. There's a lot of weird celebrity sightings like that. But I will say, I think for like nobody was really bothering them in the store. I think eventually when you live in LA long enough, you just kind of get
Get
used
used
to
to
it.
it? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
probably.
weird. Yeah.
Probably. Whew. All right, let's get back to this. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're in the inn, they meet Kieran, she gets shot. The whole Yanto and Tosh being there, I forgot that they had guns, by the way, because I was like, why would they walk around with no guns? Also, why is Gwen walking with a gun in her back pocket?
Because she's a
Did you
dum dum.
notice that? That was really dumb. She doesn't have
I
a
know.
holster or something?
You would
Girl,
think too, and she's a police officer. What the hell?
that is so unsafe to walk with it in your back pocket.
I know. It's crazy. And she should know better. I,
Someone
that
could
was
grab
really
that
weird.
so easily.
But back to the Yanto thing, sorry, when they were in the
Yeah.
wherever the fuck they were being kept. He's such a bitch. Every time they go to Yanto, I'm like, God, Yanto's such a bitch ass. I hate that guy.
Zia needs to, like, cut Yanto out of this.
If Yanto had died in this episode, I would not have been upset. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm, mhm, and,
Oh,
well,
that's
unfortunately, he
sad.
was not, but that was a very interesting scene when they were underneath that cellar and, seeing Tosh get very, like, "Alright, we're doing this. I'm getting out of here. We'll get out of here, I promise," type of thing. That like, you've never seen her look like, scared? She's
Yeah.
always been well, she's always been in the truck and not really in the fighting scenes because it's usually Owen, Gwen, or Jack, and her in action, that was kinda cool.
It was cool. She's pretty badass, right? And we haven't really seen that much from her yet.
No, no, so, not that I'm being like, "Oh my god, women can do things," but, it was nice seeing her out of her typical computer role,
Mhm. I
and that
actually agree with you.
and that she can handle a gun, and even Yanto can handle a gun. I thought that was awesome too, to see the 2 of them actually, like, be in the action versus well, Yanto was kind of in the action, but he was causing the action
Yeah, because
with
he was a
his
bitch
ex.
ass. I'm sorry. I just
Oh
like all of his facial expressions, I just wanna punch him right in the face.
god.
Fucking
But,
guy.
this we saw so much from Tosh this episode when she opened the fridge and she was like she had that look of horror, she closed it, and Yanto's like, "What'd you see?" She's like, "Don't look, there's no point in looking." And then he sees I'm just thinking, this is such a great, like, tension builder, and he looks, and then they show it, I'm like, "Ah!"
It's just body parts. And
Body
at that
part.
point, they still are trying to figure out which creature it is. And I again, I love the misdirect when the nurse came in and she was like, "Sorry, they I have to take you to them. They're making me take you to them." And they're like,
Oh.
"Who is it? Tell us what's going on." And then it's them. And then it's
Yeah,
her.
they did this, like, so good too, because the woman, she obviously is very smart, even though she looks like a country bumpkin. She's like, "How many people were you with? Are they okay?" And I'm thinking, "Dang, she's getting information out of them so easily." Just
Mhm.
because she said she was a nurse, and that's the thing, saying you're a nurse makes people bring their guard down. You inherently trust nurses more so than that, because maybe they're thinking, oh, they kept her because maybe they'll rehabilitate the people who got kidnapped so that they can eat them. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, but exactly. Who would think that? For the love of God, who would think that? But it is interesting, you're right. People tend to trust nurses, which is funny because maybe they shouldn't. Have you ever heard of the and you because you want to because you think they're actual caretakers, but have you heard of the number of nurses who like have fucked with patients or killed patients or done fucked up things to
It's
pay?
the
Like it's a lot.
retirement home ones,
Mhm.
that I've heard of, at least, like, patient abuse, or
Yeah.
I guess elderly abuse at that point. They, I'd say still probably less than 1%
Okay. That's not
that
so
do
bad.
that. Then you get, like, okay, I would say if you would divide it by this, 10% of nurses are amazing, great, best people you will ever want. Then there's the good nurses, probably like 35 to 50%. And then you get the people who kinda, like, do the job but don't care, between 20 to 30%, and then the crappy ones, which is like 10%. They're not
Right.
all there, but
No, no, of course not. And I've had so many freaking awesome nurses that are amazing. But you always hear those stories like this nurse was actually injecting people with poison and killing them and you're like, "Oh god."
yeah, haven't met one of those yet. I hope never
Thank God.
to.
Seriously.
But, yeah, this one, obviously not a real nurse, very scary, and, oh my god, when they brought them upstairs and she, like, did the reveal that she's part of the coup, all I could think was, "This is like Dexter, but, like, the hick version, and they kill good people." Well, like,
Oh,
all people.
that guy's teeth were freaking grossing me out to no end. They were
That's also
so
part of the
gnarly.
charm
It was.
of
No, it was
that.
good. It was
Like,
good, but it
he
was
was so good at that role, and then, I mean, when she did the reverse into her evil role, I was like, "Oh, she tricked me! I feel betrayed."
No, that's good though. That's again, that's like really good acting. That's really good storytelling. That's really good writing. And if you're able to trick the audience in that way, that's not easy to
Yes,
do. And they did a really good job with it
and
in this
then
episode.
I was so confused, because then I was like, "So are they aliens? Or are they humans?" I'm thinking, "Oh my god, the aliens are wearing the human skins, kinda like Men in Black." You remember the guy, the bug
Yeah.
guy?
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like,
And he like and like every time he moved, he was like cracking the thing on.
Yeah,
That was some good fucking whatever effects they used to do that was great. I mean,
yeah,
I
in
haven't seen
Men
Men
in
in Black in
Black.
a while, but
Uh-huh. Oh god, so yeah, seeing the change, all that to, okay, it's actually cannibals, and he's like saying things like, "The best meat is tenderized," and I'm like, "Ugh, they're gonna beat the crap out of Tosh and Yanto. Oh no, oh no, no." I might not like Yanto, but I also don't wanna see him beat up either. Okay, okay. Zia's like, "Nah, nah."
he didn't make it.
Oh, well.
Oh, darn.
But
Ugh.
maybe this is a little redeeming character, where, when Yanto was like, "Get ready to run," while they're, like, kind of beat on the floor, and then
Yeah.
they get to that point where they bring in, like, that tenderizing moment, and he goes to Yanto, and Yanto just boom, and then Tosh runs away, is like,
He
"Okay,
does
he did
save
a little
Tosh.
sacrifice there. That was kind of
Yeah.
nice."
Yeah,
Yeah,
his bitch ass did a little something.
well, just a little something. But, that whole run scene, they did such a good job with, like, scaring you, thinking, "Oh, she made it. Oh, she didn't. Oh, she made it. Oh, she
Yeah.
didn't," in a well-paced way.
Yeah, I agree, I agree. And then also when they find the cop finds them and you think, "Oh, cool, this is the moment," and then you realize the cop's in on it and they're all pointing the guns at each other. It was
Oh,
just a lot of very intense moments where you don't really know what's gonna happen, you don't know what to expect, so you do find yourself kind of on the edge of your seat like, "Oh shit, what's going on? What's
well,
gonna
they
happen?"
framed it like a good scary movie with lots of twists and turns, like, "Oh my god, a cop is here to save us. There's gonna be a town hall." That was okay, sorry. When Gwen and Owen met up with the officer,
Mhm,
it's kinda cute seeing Owen, like, protect her in that way to hide the bullet wounds,
mhm.
but, anyways, when he was like, "There's a town hall happening tonight. That's why I'm out here. Why are you out here?" Thinking, "A town hall happening at the inn that's empty. Hmm,
That was suspicious as
that
fuck.
was sus. Why didn't they think this guy's up to no good?"
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And the only way that towns like that these little tiny towns in the middle of nowhere can get away with something as horrific as that is if everyone's in on it, including law
The
enforcement.
policemen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep,
they
yep, yep.
were. And yeah. God. It was so good. Tosh almost dying. Gwen and Owen coming in with the cop, and then the turnaround. It's like, how many times are you guys gonna play with my heart here in this episode? And I think that's why, like, I give this episode a 10 out of 10 because there's just such great writing, didn't know what to expect. And I think because we're so used to aliens, the fact that it's human made it so surprising.
I
Mm.
like that. I like that they did that a lot. It was a really good deviation. It was one of those things too that if you really think about it, right? Like it's of course we're watching a fantasy show, we're watching a science fiction show, so it's fun to see things like fairies and aliens and all of this. But when you think about reality, the reality is on this earth, as far as we know, those things don't exist. And the real monsters, the real bad guys are people. It's the
Mhm.
horrific nature of humans. The humans can be, look, don't get me wrong, humans have a good capacity for good and great things, like love and kindness and generosity. Like those are all really good characteristics that humans have. But the flip side of that is that there are some humans that are just
Evil.
evil. Yeah, like there's no other word for it. And in this world, our only real threat to ourselves is us. Like that's really what it comes
The
down to. And
biggest
so,
threat.
mhm.
Exactly. And I think that moment where at the end of it all, Jack comes in, shoots everyone, and, you know, rah, 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 we're saved. And he's about to take him away to get arrested. But Gwen's like, I want to interrogate him. Give me 1 hour. And I'm thinking, why?
Mhm.
He's just evil.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to know why he does this. And it just is a sign of her naivete, I think.
Mhm. And it's so crazy too because she really wanted to understand. And I get that. That's why people are so fascinated with serial killers, right? Because it's
Mhm.
if you're not a psychopath, if you don't have that mindset, you're never going to understand, but there's this fascination with it because you want to. You want to be like what would compel someone to do something so horrific? And in this case, his answer actually had an answer. It was really fucking chilling
Oh my God. It
because
was
it makes me
horrible.
happy.
Oh my God. And the way he said it too is like, I will whisper it to you.
Whew.
In my head, I was thinking he was going to bite her ear.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, "Let me get one last snack before I go away."
Like, "Oh, why would you get that close to his mouth? Ew."
Seriously. Seriously.
But I mean, glad that didn't happen and that it was that because that was just it was cold. Like he is pure evil. I just want to do it because it's fun. People are yummy. I like bleeding the meat out. It's like veal, so it tastes
Crazy.
better. What?
Crazy, like, absolutely insane, and that's someone that isn't a psychopath, would have absolutely no idea the mindset behind that. To us, it's horrifying and it's disgusting,
Mhm.
but what is it that makes it different? What makes them love that? It's fucked
Yep.
up.
They have a horrible moral compass, and you won't be able to change someone like that ever, I don't
Yeah.
think, with
Yeah.
as much rehabilitation. I mean, maybe we could make a Dexter out of him if he could, hone those skills, but I wondered, like, this is a decade tradition. Every decade, every 10 years, they do this. How is it possible that Torchwood only got alerted about this now, or just the authorities in general, like a mass amount of missing people? Like, you think
In
that would
one
red
spot.
flag?
Yeah. Is in one particular area every 10 years. I actually agree with you. That is weird.
Like, how long did this go on for? Centuries? Who knows? I mean, not London. UK has been around for God knows how long, right?
And if it keeps getting passed down from generation to generation, what I find odd about that though is that every generation's like, yeah, this is just what we do. No one was like, this is fucked up. Why are we doing this?
I'm gonna run away. This is crazy, or I'm gonna tell the authority. Well, I guess you can't tell the authorities because they are the authorities.
Mhm. Yep.
God, that's crazy.
Russ Williams, yeah, psychopaths are born, not made, incapable of remorse, empathy, guilt, or shame. No way to rehabilitate, but most aren't serial killers. That is true, Russ. And also, I've long since thought that my sister was a psychopath, actually.
Yeah. You can also be cultured into it too, because if you don't know any better, you just think that's normal,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
right?
true.
Like if you're a
Yeah,
kid and this is just a thing, like, oh, human meat tastes good or whatever, right?
that's true.
Like they're like, okay, this is just how we do things, this is how we celebrate every decade or so. Who knows what things they teach their kids to indoctrinate them into this ritual because they have to, right?
That's the only way that it would work. I guess that's true if you're raised, but I always think at some point, some kid would have to be like, this, why are we eating people?
Maybe they
This
make
is
friends
insane.
with one of the inn kids. I don't know. And then they're like, "I have to hurt them." What? Oh my god.
Because
We're
he's a bitch ass, Ward. Because
oh,
he's a
wait.
bitch
You
ass.
weren't here for that. I don't know if you were here for the episode review where Yanto and Lisa, his cyber woman girlfriend, Xia bit a new one into him. So if you want to find out,
I
go to
hate
that
that guy.
episode. I believe it's actually on this channel, but I could be wrong.
It might be, but it also might be on yours. Either way, you should be subscribed to X-Ray Girl anyway, so go do that now.
God, but
But
this was a great episode.
so good. This one was so fun. I don't remember what the next ones are. Next week, we're alternating back to one Doctor Who, one Torchwood, right?
I think so. I
I
will
think.
take a look at it again, but I want to know what happens with Owen and Gwen. I want to know the implications that she hopefully tells Reese, but I don't think she's going to because
No, I don't think she's going to.
like, that it's so rude of her to do that, and this'll be interesting because she's literally living between 2 different worlds now, her old self, her new self, and then she has to come to terms with, "Okay, I think you need to let go of who you were before. When you came into Torchwood, everyone was single. Did you not ask why they were single?" She kinda did. The job they're married to, it's a very hard job to have with a
Mhm.
significant other. So, at some point, it kinda was foreshadowing that maybe you should be single too, because then you're going to not it's like holding you back almost.
Yes, and it's also going to ruin the relationship, and we've already saw that happen to each other. I know the answer to that. Eating pineapple on pizza is definitely worse. Um,
No! How dare you?
no, but yeah, but you do. You kind of see the relationship starting to break down, even, and it's sad because he's really trying. That's what makes it so heartbreaking, is that he's like, I love you, and I want to see you, and I want to spend time with you, and I understand that this job is demanding and it's taking over, but I also um still want to be here for you, and I still love you. And it sucks that
Yeah,
instead of doing the right thing, like leaving him first and just, being like, this is not going to work,
yeah.
sucks.
I also think she just wants to hold on to a piece of this innocence that she had, and Reese is that innocence, and if she
Yeah.
can't, then I mean, like, look at Reese. He's only been shown as a good person, and then Owen has literally been shown as a hoe. Um,
Yeah.
you know, he steals things. He's a little weirdo who makes awkward jokes, sexual jokes. He's hooked up with so many people in the show, or like the characters not in the show, but like around
Mhm.
him. So I don't know. She's literally turning to the dark side, and I don't know how I feel about it. But I'm also like not okay with it. But I'm interested to see how the show spins it.
Yeah, it's because I don't remember. This is what, and I actually kind of like that. I like because I don't remember anything. I don't remember what ends up happening with the two of them. I don't remember what happens with her and Reese. So this is going to be fun. It's going to unfold for me the same way it's unfolding for you.
Yay! We're both going to this with like virgin eyes almost. Now you know what it feels like to be me, to forget so many things and watch
Yes,
it again for the
it's
first time.
hard to remember everything.
It really is, which is why I wrote notes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do these reviews without the notes. Oh god. But yeah, it'll be a next good episode, I think. Unless they really drag on this relationship and not lightly touch on it. I want I want more.
I
wanting more.
know, I know, I know.
It's
And
so hard to stop.
it is. You just want to hit next episode. You're like, okay, so what's happening? Especially when they give you, I said, especially, I hate myself, especially when they give you the little preview at the end and you're like,
How rude. I have to
mm,
wait.
I
Like we did
know.
back in the day for a whole week before I watched this.
I know. It's horrible. But we
But
can do it. But these were such good episodes.
next week you have a tenant back in your life.
David Tennant's back in my life. This skirt is not staying up. I done fucked up.
I'm sure chat is loving that.
You guys better be, because Jesus Christ, I can't keep it together at all.
And they're like, yes, continue. Keep it not together.
Fine.
But
For
yes.
you.
Was this your favorite Torchwood episode so far?
This is my favorite Torchwood episode so far. Yeah. How about you?
Me too. Me too. Because I that first episode was really, really, really good. Honestly,
Yes.
so it was the first our favorite out of the 3. I think the 4th one beats the first, as well as the 5th beats the 4th. So
Agreed. Yeah. It just keeps getting better and better.
mm-hmm.
It keeps getting better and better. Andrew Matthews, thank you so much for the super chat. We got 2 British pounds from Andrew Matthews. He says, Xia, Xray Girl has seen The Shallows, but not Jaws.
Why are you telling everyone this?
Okay, Xray Girl, we need you to see Jaws. You need to see Jaws.
But like, honestly, The Shallows was, I believe it was on streaming. So I was like, Blake Lively, love her. Why not watch her? Jaws was, I don't think I've ever seen Jaws streaming.
And
I was too scared.
Jaws is really good though. It's such a good movie.
I know. Chat's turning on me again. Dang it! Andrew, why are you doing this to me? I'm gonna remember this. Andrew Matthews. I'm gonna be like your mom right now. Say your full name. You are in trouble, Andrew Matthews, young sir. But yeah, I did think The Shallows was a good movie.
Okay, I gotta watch it. I haven't seen The Shallows. I would check it out though.
You'll have to tell me if Shallows was better than Jaws, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, it's kind of true.
I'm like, oh, David Tennant's coming back. Oh, darn.
Oh, okay. All my clothes are off now.
Oh, what's happening?
Lynn, what if he doesn't have a middle name? Okay. I'm going to say Andrew David Matthews. I don't know if it's David.
And that sounds right. It sounds good. Andrew David Matthews. I like that.
You are in trouble, young man.
You, sir, get in here and clean your room.
Why does this sound like sexual when you say it?
Because apparently everything I say does, and I don't know how to not. God damn it.
Oh, no.
Sorry to make that gross, everyone.
I don't think chat thought it was gross. Did it work for you, chat?
You've been a bad boy now. Go to my room.
Okay. Oh, Andrew P. Matthews. Andrew Peter Matthews.
Oh, yeah. Andrew. I don't know any other P names. Philadelphia Matthews.
Andrew Philip Matthews. I'm thinking other. Well, why is there a lack of P names in my head?
Did you already say Peter?
Yeah, Peter and Philip. Okay, there's Paul.
Oh, Patrick.
Patrick. Chat has better brain than Xray Girl and Xia combined.
I know this is really bad, and we're the ones doing this. Oh boy. Philip, Paul, Peter, Patrick,
and Mary? How's Mary with the P?
Peter, Paul, and Mary. I don't know who the Peter and Paul are in the Mary part. I know it's Mary is the Virgin Mary.
One of the apostles? I don't know. I'm not a religious person.
Paulo. I worked with a guy named Paulo.
Okay, what about Pedro? Andrew Pedro Matthews.
Pedro.
I love how Saw's putting bikinis at $200.
I love Saw. He's so sweet. He's like, bikini show. Let's go, guys. Saw, you're.
We need the bikini. Maybe one day when I visit you, I'll do the bikini. We'll see.
That would be so fun. You could stay and do bikini.
Yeah, we'll see. Might maybe do a tankini. I don't know.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
We'll see. I did just the top. I was bottomless when we did that. No, I'm kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
guys hear that? Do you guys hear that? Well, look, this time you could lick whipped cream off of other places if you wanted to.
That'll be on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cannibal, maybe there already is an OnlyFans.
Perhaps there already is Cannibal the Dragon.
We
Perhaps
should
it has
Google it.
lovely feet on it. Maybe you should look it up.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some beautiful feet there.
Yep. I need to get a pedicure though.
Oh, that feels so good. You just feel so clean and like nice. Oh,
Yep. A singing group from the 60s. That's why I don't know about
oh,
them.
I did not know that either. I thought it was something from the Bible. I was like, that sounds vaguely religious.
If you
Oh,
include, like, those are all saints, aren't they? St. Peter, St. Paul, and Mary?
that's what
They
I
are.
thought. Oh, that's
They
so funny.
are. So you're not
All
wrong.
right. I wasn't wrong. Okay, good.
Oh my god. I love how Cannibal's like, "Don't tempt me." Well,
Too late. You're
do
tempted.
it.
Do
To
it.
apologize.
It's too late.
Oh gosh. Only
Only
souls?
souls.
It's
Mary
also
wasn't a saint. She was a whore. Because do you think that
Oh, okay,
she
sorry, I
didn't
don't
had
know.
a baby without having sex? She was cheating on Joseph. She was like, "Oh no, I got pregnant by accident. Oh
He
darn,
fell
this
in me by
was
accident.
telling me it was Jesus did it. I mean, God did it. Wait, Jesus was her son. God did it. It's not cheating if it's God." That's messed
Oh
up.
no.
Okay,
Stop cheating.
it's not cheating if it's with God. Yeah, I get away with that. It's not cheating if it's Jesus. Oh, is that the wrong Mary? Am I thinking of a different Mary? I don't know anything about this, you guys.
She's not a saint, and we got the wrong Mary, and obviously we don't know much about that. Maybe we should call Melanie Mac because clearly we're getting this wrong.
Clearly, we don't know anything.
Absolutely. She's going down.
Oh, backhand, we're screwed.
Oh no.
We're done fucked up. All right. These
think we should end
episodes
this
were amazing. Yep, I gotta pee too.
All right.
Where
You know
can
where to
everybody
me.
find you?
Yeah, girl everywhere. I think I'm gonna be on with Gary tonight to help with his gaming 9:30
yeah.
Eastern. So you can join there, Nerdotic Live. Tomorrow I am Dadcast with Project Egg Rolls Philip at 6 p.m. Eastern if you're into that. So check out Poor Choices as well. And yes,
Yay.
OnlyFans
OnlyFans.
if you're into that.
Do it. Do it.
Hello.
And as for me, if you guys are watching this, hopefully you know where to find me. But maybe you don't. Maybe you're new and you're like, "What is this absolute shenanigans?"
Degeneracy.
Complete and utter degeneracy. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. It helps a lot. I appreciate when you guys do that so much. I go through and I try to like all of them because you guys are amazing. And XiaLand everywhere, XiaLand, Twitter, Instagram, also OnlyFans as well. If you're into that kind of thing, I tried to make myself climax with a piece of ice, but it didn't work, so I had to use a vibrator instead.
Is this on camera?
I did it like under my but I also pulled. It was very lippy. Anyway, the point is that video is the one that I released recently. I sent out as pay-per-view recently. And yeah, I was just curious. I was like, can I make myself finish with ice? Turns out I cannot. Well, but then. I did try valiantly. And
there you go.
I tried my best.
So yeah, I don't think that sounds good. Ice down there.
Wasn't great, but it was fun all up here and stuff. It melted really quickly.
Anyways.
So anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for always supporting my channel. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. You guys are awesome. Saw, Backhand, Tricky, Zechariah, and Andrew Matthews. You guys kick so much ass. Seriously, thank you so much. I think you guys are all just phenomenal for watching this.
Love it.
And we will, I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Xia Next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, wait, I have to end the stream. Hold on a second. Let's get this
Do,
to
do, 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 do.